Hello guys! In this video, we're going to talk about an introduction to Slack. Let's get started. Slack is a communication tool that can be used to coordinate, collaborate, and work with your team. It is a meeting space similar to messaging apps like Skype that includes instant messaging, video and phone calls, screen sharing or file sharing, and you can take advantage of all these features for organizing your team. You can use Slack's web app to communicate with your team on any browser, or you can use Slack's mobile app to communicate with your team on the go. So you don't have to worry when you're away from your computer, since you can use your mobile device to send direct messages with your team. To start using Slack, go to slack.com and click the button Try it for free. First, you need to input your email here. You can continue with Google, Apple, or type in the email address that you want to use to access Slack. Next, create a workspace. Set up your team name. Input the name of your company or your team. Next, type in what your team is working on right now. Then type in the email address of the team that you want to include in your project or campaign. You can type multiple email addresses or use a shareable link to invite your team. Now, Slack is launching your company or team name. If you use your web browser, this is what you will see. It suggests that you use the project that you've created. Now let's download Slack. You can search it on Google to get a direct link where you can download the app. This is Slack for Windows Desktop. You can see here that Slack is also available for mobile app downloads, both on Android and iOS devices. Click Download, and once you're done, run the file. Click Sign in to Slack. You'll be redirected to this page to choose a workspace. It is best to customize your profile properly. You can make your display name look professional to allow your team to easily recognize you as you exchange messages in your channel or send messages in private. To edit your profile, click on your name under Direct Messages. Then click on the drop-down arrow on the top section. In this section, click on the View Profile link. You'll see your workspace here, and you can find the pencil icon to edit your profile. Next, you'll see a pop-up window to input your details. You can edit your full name in this field. Also, if you don't want people to view your full name, you can set a display name in this field. You can display your first name, nickname, or include a title in your team. Next, write what you do. This can be your job title or what you do in your company or the organization that you have created as you sign up for a new account on Slack. Next, you can input your phone number. Next, choose your current time zone. This can help you receive reminders that are in line with your current time zone. You can also upload your photo so that your team can easily recognize you. If you want to add, edit, or reorder fields, you can only take advantage of that feature if you use paid plans. So what is Slack best used for? It is best used for businesses that make use of remote work for teams without the need for paying for the software. It can be used by small teams who want better and secure collaboration with outside organizations. It's also best for businesses that want to increase their productivity. Large enterprises can also benefit from using Slack to streamline their administration and collaborate with up to 500,000 users. Slack is a great communication tool to help your staff exchange private messages or use video calls to start your meeting. Slack offers free plans and paid plans. Free plans allows you to access up to 10,000 most recent messages, limited integrations, and 1:1 voice and video calls. If you want the benefits of using more face-to-face video calls, you can avail of the paid plans and scale your business. Next, we're going to talk about how your business can benefit from Slack. Slack can help grow your business and increase your productivity as you keep your teams connected through the use of this communication tool. You can coordinate with your team in one place. Your company might use different applications for instant messaging, video conference calls, or file sharing. When you use Slack, you don't have to worry about accessing different apps to perform different activities with your team. You can use Slack to coordinate with your team, start a call, or share files. Next, create channels within the community. You can create a room or a channel dedicated to a specific purpose, project, team, or agenda. It can be set to private, public, shared, or multi-workspace. It makes it easier to collaborate with your team in real time. You can also include your client in the channel so that you can collaborate faster using videos and sharing files. Next, it can replace email messaging for your team. Your email messages can be missed out on by your employees, team, or clients. As the email messages received by people grow, the important email messages that you'll send might get lost among the sea of emails. Slack can make it faster to get in touch with the people that you want to communicate with instead of sending emails. Next, access Slack anywhere. Whether you're away from your computer or out in a meeting, you can still access your account in Slack. This avoids missing out on the important messages exchanged with your team. You'll get notified on your mobile device to view all the messages that you've received in your current project or channels. Next, integrate the services that your company is currently using. If you use applications such as Google Drive, Dropbox, or GitHub to organize your projects, you can easily integrate those existing apps into your Slack account. You can take advantage of the free Slack plan, which allows you to integrate up to 10 apps on your Slack account. Next, share different files with your team. You can drag and drop any file from your computer, such as Word documents, Google Documents, PDF files, JPEG files, or video files. Next, start audio or video calls. If you need to explain certain projects with your team, you can start an audio call, and this makes it easier rather than typing all your explanation in your channel. You can also use the video call to start an online meeting with a team. Next, invite people using your invitation link. During your Slack signup, you have the option to invite people using their email addresses. You might also notice the invitation link that you can use to send to your team so that they can be added to your channel. Slack is great to incorporate into your business, especially if you don't have the budget to purchase apps with additional features that you can find as you use other apps. It is useful, especially if you have teams that work remotely. Also, you can invite your clients to be part of your channel so that they can be updated with the progress of your work, or if they have inquiries, they can easily communicate with you in that channel in real time. Next, we're going to talk about creating channels on Slack. Channels are one of Slack's features to organize your teams. You can control the people who you can invite inside channels. You can invite selected employees to your team and also include your clients if you need to collaborate with them. To add a channel, access your Slack account. Beside the Channel section, you can find the plus icon. Click on it. On a drop-down menu, click Create a Channel. This pop-up window allows you to create a channel where your team communicates. It starts with a hash key, so it looks like a hashtag. You don't need to include a hash key as you name your channel. Just input the name itself. Channel names can contain up to 80 characters. Take note that you cannot input channel names with spaces, periods, or punctuations. You can also use the suggested channel names that you can add before your channel name's purpose. For example, you can use the prefix help followed by dash and the name of the project. You can also add an optional description for your channel, and the purpose of this channel is for assistance in this project name. This can help people determine what your channel is all about. The channel description will be shown in this section. When naming a channel on Slack, it is recommended to have a prefix that will describe what the channel is all about. It can help in the discovery of your channel as well. An example is the marketing-coffee. People who want to communicate with people who are into the specific niche can provide answers to marketing coffee-related questions. Next, you can set your channel to public or private. If you set it to private, it can only be viewed or joined by invitation. Another feature when it comes to creating channels on Slack is sharing the channel outside your company, but it's available on the premium plans. But you can try the share feature as you try Slack's free trial. Now click Create. Then start adding people on your private channel. You can enter their name or their email address. It is possible to add multiple emails as you invite these people to your private channel. Then click Add. You can see that your invitation has been sent to these email addresses. You can see the default channels of Slack, which are general and random. You can also mark channels with a star. To do that, choose the channel name and click on the drop-down arrow to view the channel details. Below the channel name, you can view the star icon. Click on it to mark it as a star channel. In this window, you can see that you can set the notifications for @mentions. You can choose to get notifications for all messages, @mentions, turn off notifications, or mute the channel. This allows you to set to be notified only with important messages as they mention you, notify you with all the messages you receive, or keep the notification silent when you're in a meeting. You can also access more notifications here. You can use different settings for mobile devices, get notified about all replies, and show them in your threads view. Under Topic, you can add different titles for your topic. Then click Save. The Members tab allows you to view all the current members and also the members that you've invited, even if they haven't accepted the invitation yet. Also, you can start a call here, but this is only available for paid plans. In this section, you can also view the number of members of this channel, and you can use the search button to look for members inside the channel. If people are not a member of this channel yet, you can add them here. Next, we're going to talk about sharing files with your team on Slack. When collaborating with your team, you are expected to share files that you are working on. It is normal to upload files to a server, and you will share that link with your team. Doing this will allow them to access your files, view the file, and download them as you share the link to that file. Slack offers a feature that makes it easy for users to attach files and share them directly with their team inside the channel. Slack supports several file types so that you can enjoy real-time conversations with your team and easily share files without using third-party apps just to send files. You can upload files from your computer or any integrated apps such as Google Drive. You can share PDF files, PowerPoint files, document files, text files, videos, and images with file types such as JPEG, PNG, or BMP file types. To share files on your channel, look for the file icon below the text field where you can compose a message. As you click on the icon, you can view your recent files if you need to share them with your team and your channel. If you share videos, the people inside your channel can view and play the entire video in this window. They can watch the video without going out of Slack. You may notice the settings icon, and you can set the playback speed of your video. When a user in your channel views your shared file, you can click on this icon to view more options, such as Open in the thread in a new window. If you open a new window, you'll stay in Slack. View details, and it will be viewed here as a separate window. They can download the file, share it, or copy link to file, add to saved items, or delete a file. Let's talk about the limits of the file size uploads. The free plan on Slack offers workspaces to have up to 5 GB of file storage. If you reach the limit, the old files will be archived to make room for newly uploaded files by your team. All archived files will no longer be available, and your team cannot view them anymore. Next, you can browse the file shared on your workspace. If the file is shared inside a channel, look for the channel details. On the About section, you can view the files that were uploaded by different users inside this channel. Click Show More to view all the files. If there are hundreds of files inside your channel, you can use the Search By field to look for the file by name or keyword. Next, you can search by people who shared the file. Just type in the user's name, then click on the file to view it. You can download the file or share the file. The 3 dots allow you to view more details about the file, which shows the comments to that file. You can also copy links to that file, add to saved items, open in a browser or a new window, or create an external link. You can also search by date. This helps you view all the submitted documents, images, or videos on specific dates. You can narrow down the search for specific files as you do this. You can also search by file type. If you need to look for more specific files, you can use the file type filter, then choose from this drop-down list. Common files that you may need are documents, images, or videos. You can also use the file browser to view the files in all the channels in your workspace. You can search for the channel, the date, and the file type. If you click More Filters, you can search for files that are a direct message, saved, files in a thread, or only include channels that you're in. As your team works remotely or in the office, Slack offers features that make it fun to communicate and easily attach files without using emails to send files to share with your team. Next, we're going to talk about integrating apps on Slack. Slack can be a useful tool for managing workflows and boosting productivity. When you connect your team's existing apps on Slack, you can still use it to organize and manage your team's work. You'll be able to streamline your work and collaborate with your team efficiently. When adding apps to your Slack account, you have to take note that admins or Slack owners can restrict this permission as not to allow anyone to integrate any apps that they decide on installing on your Slack account. To start connecting your tools in your workspace, look for the Apps menu upon signing up on your Slack account. When you add apps, it will sync with your calendar, which helps bring all your work together in one place. You may notice that when you haven't integrated apps into your Slack account yet, there won't be a section for apps on the left side menu section. You can access it under the More section or by clicking on the three dots icon. You can also customize the sidebar to customize the menus that you need. Look for the Apps menu. If you need a guide, you can click Learn More About Apps to redirect you to the Slack Help Center. Slack might recommend you to install your Google Calendar and your Google Drive on your workspace. Most teams use Google Drive to upload their files, so it would be practical to install your Google Apps to sync the activities or events and access your files in your Slack workspace. When you install Google Calendar, it will redirect you to the Slack app directory. You can view the Add to Slack button. If you need to add this to a different workspace, choose from your existing workspaces here. Click Add to Slack button. The next page will ask the permissions that you are allowing Slack to access on your Google Calendar. You'll allow Slack to view your content, information about you, and your workspace, including your team's email addresses. Also, you'll allow Slack to perform actions in your channels, conversations, and workspace. Now click Allow. Then choose your Gmail account to connect to Slack. Next, click Allow. Now your Google Calendar is connected to your Slack workspace. Going back to your Slack desktop app, you can view the Google Calendar under Apps. When you add your Google Calendar to your Slack workspace, you can view the events that you have created on your Google Calendar account and add new events directly on Slack. Next, let's install Google Drive here. You'll be redirected again to the Slack app directory. This app will be added to this workspace. Click Add to Slack. When you add Google Drive, you can get notifications about your Google files within Slack. You can easily use features on Google Drive as you use Slack. You can grant access to your files, get updates like comments, access requests, or new files shared with you. Click the Add Google Drive app. Allow Slack these permissions on your Google Drive. Next, you need to authenticate your Google Drive account before connecting it to your workspace. Then choose the account from this list. Then allow Slack these permissions. Now you can see this page where Slack shows you all the apps installed in your workspace, and you can manage your apps here. Going back to your Slack desktop app, you can see that we've already connected Google Calendar and Google Drive into this workspace. You can also use the search field to look for apps by name or category. If you type a keyword or a category, all the apps that match the keyword that you have typed in and are available will be shown here. You can browse for the available apps and connect the selected app to your workspace. Another common app that you can connect to your workspace is Zoom. You have the options to install Zoom for Slack company-wide, which needs admin permission, or install Zoom for your individual account only. Integrating Zoom allows you to start and join meetings with a Zoom ID and start calls with a contact directly on Slack. Next, we're going to talk about customizing messages on Slack. You can manage the incoming and craft outgoing responses on your Slack workspace. You can create an automated answer for the common questions asked in your team. You can bookmark your messages and pin specific conversations. Now go to your Slack workspace. On the drop-down menu, choose Settings and Administration. Then under Settings, choose to Customize, followed by the name of your workspace. It will redirect you to your web settings. You can start customizing your workspace here. There are tabs that you can access, such as Emoji, Slackbot, Workspace Icon, Statuses, and Channel Prefixes. Under the Slackbot tab, click the button Add New Response. Under Someone Says, write a trigger word or phrase. Then input the Slack bot response in this text box. All the keywords that you have included under says will trigger Slackbot to respond to that message with this automated response that you have set. Then click Save. All the custom responses that you have created will be displayed here. You can edit or delete them. It's easy to customize the responses on Slack. This helps you automate answering common questions to your team's inquiries. If you create a custom response with multiple triggers, you can view them all here. Also, the entire response that your Slack bot will send to your team on your behalf will be viewed in this section. This table shows who edited this custom response. Now let's test our custom responses. Then type in a message that includes the custom keyword or phrases that will trigger the custom responses that we have created. You can see that the word help triggered this response sent by Slackbot. It also shows that this is a custom response. Now let's talk about what you can do more with messaging. First, customize emojis. The default emojis that you can use in your Slack workspace are these emojis. When you access the settings, Customize your workspace, you can find the Emojis tab. The one-click reactions are the default emojis that you can use as you react to the messages in your channel. Below, you can add alias and add custom emojis here. You can upload custom emojis in your workspace or use emoji packs. If you have custom emojis for your team, it must be a square image under 128 KB with a transparent background. Now here's our custom emoji. If you type in the keyword that you have set for that emoji, you can see a pop-up window that shows similar emojis. Next, start conversations. If you receive tons of direct messages, you can mark it with a star. To start a conversation, select the name of the user and right-click on their name. From the pop-up menu, choose Start Conversation. All the channels and conversations from specific people that you have marked with a star will be shown under the starred menu, and it will be easier for you to view conversations that you have marked with a star. Next, mark as unread. To mark a specific message as unread, choose a user under the Direct Messages section. Right-click on the specific message or the latest message that you received from that user, then choose Mark as Unread. You can see the unread marker to allow you to get back to that message at a later time. Pin specific messages. You can pin specific messages on top of the conversation window of a direct message with a user or in a channel. You can see the number of pinned conversations here. This makes it easier for people to view important messages as pinned when they browse the conversations inside the direct message or a channel. Next, set a reminder. The conversation that you have marked as unread can also be set to remind you about this for about 20 minutes, 1 hour, tomorrow, or custom. Once you set to remind you, the Slack bot will confirm that it will remind you about this message in the time that you have set. The Slack bot in your workspace can respond to the common questions asked in your team. You can also format the messages that you share with your team, which makes them easier to read. You can highlight phrases using the bold format, add bullets or add lists, and emojis to your messages. Also, notifying people with the @mention helps these people view important messages that are intended for them. If you need help to make courses and training, we have a marketing app that can help you create your own online courses that actually get sales. Create amazing courses with Udemy-grade customer experience. It includes profit and conversion boosting plugins. It integrates a popular payment system. It even supports video courses on any platform. It has a rich interaction with built-in comments, reviews, and questions. Create awesome courses. It would be easy for you to set up, and your students will love the user-friendly experience. Access dozens of ready-made templates for everything. Customize your course themes to make it feel unique with your branding. Students can resume course playback where they left it. So try Course Funnels now. Go to the URL getcoursefunnels.in. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.